From Ryuzan, you should invite Anna, that Star Wars girl. She landed on an LA roadside. Oh my God. Yeah,
Oh
we have
my
to hear
God.
about that, Anna.
Trying to do it now or when you're done reading your super chats?
I have a couple more. Okay, I'm almost done. Pat Maloney, what model of shotgun, Loza? I don't remember what that was about. From In Hot Water, would you get pregnant and abort it for $1 million? No, I would not.
No.
I would not. I would not.
Oh.
Probably for no amount of money. Pat Maloney, every woman I knew who had one took it very seriously. Some of these crazy holes celebrate it. At some point, the fetus feels pain. Of course they do.
The fuck.
All right, cool. That was a super chat recap. Yes, and I want to hear about your harrowing tale of
Oh God,
car
oh my
drama.
God, poor Anna.
I know, it was terrible. So on Friday, it was Friday the 13th, and I had a bad feeling like the night before because I had to go to Beverly Hills on Friday to go do this like in-person podcast, and I was like, they're at the very top of the fucking hill, and my truck is really old, so I was like, ah shit, I have a bad feeling. I was like, should I just take an Uber? Should I just take my truck? And my friend John said to take an Uber so I could use the carpool lane. And then Cecil told me, he's like, just take your truck. Stop being a pussy. So I was like, okay, I'll take my truck. I'll save money. I won't spend money on an Uber.
Listen to Cecil. Oh,
I did. I listened to Cecil. So I take my truck up the freaking mountains, and I had to like park. Like it was that steep of an incline, but it was in the shade. So at least that was nice. And my truck was completely fine. And then I went to the Getty. Everything was good. And I was like, the parking for that is an underground structure. So I was like, okay, it's cooled down even more because it was really hot on Friday. And I was like, okay, maybe that bad feeling was just a fluke. And I'm driving home, and I don't know if you guys use Waze, but Waze kind of like will find like the fastest route as compared to like
bullshit route. Sorry, I hate Waze. But
okay, I love Waze, but
no,
I guess
Waze is great.
Google Maps till I die.
Google Maps.
Okay, well, I like Waze because it's really convenient in Southern California.
I don't know what that is.
Southern California?
No. Waze? What's Waze? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's like a navigation.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it'll take you like on kind of janky routes, but it does work.
And it tells you when there's cops.
Yes.
Like, let's not forget the best part about it.
Yeah.
That's a good part. That's good. That's good.
Well, the one problem with it is like, the fastest way home is to get onto this one freeway. And all of a sudden I'm driving, and I had heard this like whistling noise whenever I stepped on the gas. And I was like, okay, maybe my tire is going flat. I don't know.
But the car was hitting on you.
Well, no. And when I, oh my God. Well, when I stepped on the brakes, they go away. So I'm like, okay, my brakes are fine. And then like, there was a truck, like I was in this lane, there's another truck right here. And then I smelled something really sweet, and I was like, oh, what is that? And then I saw smoke, and I was like, oh my God, that car is smoking. And then I realized it was my truck that was smoking.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God. And I went across like 3 lanes.
What's your car made of that it smelled sweet?
It was the coolant. So when the coolant leaks, it smells sweet.
She cooks ham on the top of her car.
She had pixie sticks in the
I know. Well, it was like a part of the engine that was smoking, and so I was freaking out. And this freeway, I did get kind of lucky. Most of the freeway doesn't have any shoulders. It's just like, straight concrete walls. Mm-hmm. And so I immediately called my dad. I'm like, Daddy, help me. This is what's wrong. And I opened my, hood, and all the smoke came out, and it didn't look like anything was wrong. And so my dad's like, just call AAA, get it towed home. And that's when I look on the map of where I was. I was in the heart of Compton.
Wow.
And I was like,
oh no.
Were you then, does that mean you're straight out of Compton?
Huh?
Straight out of Compton, baby.
She needs to get straight out of Compton really fast.
Out of there. And I called my boyfriend. Literally everyone that I know that lives near me is gone. Like this weekend.
It sounds like all the people you called right away were men. I'm noticing a trend.
Of course they're men. I'm not. Yeah, well, all the boys I know are out of town. And so it didn't make that any easier. And then I was like, okay, call AAA. They're sending me a tow truck. And they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be here in 90 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'll do a live stream so I don't freak out. And like,
the people. The people in your chat were really mean too, because I went into her chat like way later, like 2 hours later, because I saw John Malin streaming and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why is he stream sniping Anna? And then I saw you in this dark car, which was like something out of Blair Witch. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You guys could see it, like when I started the stream, the sun was up, and then by the time the tow truck got there, it was pitch black, almost midnight.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was really weird because all the people in her chat were like, Nina, tell her to like get off the stream and call AAA. This dumb bitch is like not even calling like AAA and blah blah blah. And I'm like, she called AAA. She's waiting for the title literally says like waiting for AAA to show up. Like, and you were there waiting for AAA, and everyone in the chat was like shitting on you, being like, she's so stupid. She hasn't even called like a tow truck. And I'm like,
I did. Well, so after 90 minutes, I called them back and they're like, we haven't sent one yet. And then he's like, oh, you have to go over 13 miles to get to my house. And he's just like, oh, okay, we're just going to pull your truck off the freeway. And then he's like, and then you'll have to call another tow truck to take you home. And I was like, you're going to abandon me in the middle of Compton and at night? Like, and I started crying because I was freaking out at that point. Because I'm like, it's been 3 hours at this point. Now you're telling me I'm not going to get home. And I don't know. I just had a bad feeling. So I got really upset. And then the tow truck came and the guy took me home. So,
somehow hearing this story while in the car on the way home isn't the best time.
Poor Brittany. She's all scared now. It's okay.
It's getting dark out of her window.
I'm guessing that your car is like not 30 years old like mine is.
I think the moral of that story is Waze still sucks.
You know what? I'm actually starting to feel that.
Well, and Brittany, I don't think you're driving, right? Like, I think so. Somebody's there with you.
No, I am driving.
She's got one of those Teslas.
Yeah, you're not in a Tesla. You're not in an automatic driving car. No.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
I'm in a manual right now.
Okay. She's driving with her new Neuralink implant. She just thinks about the turns.
Yeah, so you're not alone. You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Yeah, that's very scary, Anna. I'm glad you didn't get raped or anything. But it's good that you were live streaming so that people could watch along.
She was so funny. That long.
She was so funny because she had she had the phone, and like when the tow truck driver came, and she had it like below, and like she was like talking to him, and we were all listening to the conversation. And then she's like, "Should I end it, you guys? Like, I think I'm safe."
Because here's the thing. First, a tow truck came up and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm safe. This guy's going to tow me home. And I was like, are you with AAA? And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, okay. He's like, well, where do you need to go? And I told him. And then he's like, oh yeah, that's going to be like $500, like $200 to $500. I was like, excuse me, this is AAA. It covers it. You're not supposed to charge me. And he's like, oh, I'm not with AAA. I was like, but you just told me you were. So I was kind of sketched out.
That's creepy.
That's super sketch.
I was sketched out with the first tow truck. So when the second showed up, I was like, are you with AAA? Are you really with AAA?
Let me see some identification, sir.
Yeah, don't they need to have identification for AAA or something? I feel like they do.
Well, they're supposed to ask you to see your AAA card. So, and like the number on it to make sure that it's the right person. And he didn't.
Like to an Uber. Yeah, that's sketchy as hell.
Everybody's
really
blaming
nice.
Cecil.
Aren't you supposed to be able to track them? Like you can get like a little text and you can track them like live.
I didn't get that.
I've broken down many times.
Did they?
You got to get that, and you have to say to be somewhere at this time to make them come faster. Like you need to make it urgent.
I know.
There you go.
That sounds like a sex tip as well, Isabella.
I guess so. Apply it to everything in life.
Hurry up! Yeah.
Did they have a rule that you couldn't ride because of COVID? You couldn't ride in the tow truck with the guy. You had to find your own way home.
No, that they don't care about that now.
Oh, thank God! This just recently, a few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe happened to me where my car wouldn't start in the city. I don't have AAA. I have like progressive roadside assistance, I think.
Do you have AA?
Well, almost.
They're not as good. No,
not as good. Yeah, no, and my car wouldn't start, and so I had to. This is in the city at night too, like in New York City. I went and hung out at Gas Digital for like 4 hours. Thank God, because if I just had to sit in the city by myself, I was like, yeah, thank God they were open. They had a late show, but the first tow truck driver didn't show up. They canceled, so I waited an hour and a half, and then they had to call another one. I ended up waiting 3.5 hours for an actual tow truck to come. And then they told me that because of COVID, I couldn't ride. And I had to go all the way out to Jersey. I couldn't ride in the car with them. So I would have to get an Uber home, which was going to be like $150
What?
Wow.
on top of the tow, which they only pay for part of it because it was like outside of their perimeter of miles that they pay for. I had to then pay another $140. And then when they got there, my fucking car started.
No.
Oh no.
The worst. I thought I was
That does suck. That does suck. But one time I did have to ride in the car with a tow truck guy for like 40 minutes, and it was like the worst small talk of my life. That I was like, I would literally rather like spend $1,000 than to get out of this conversation with you.
Oh no.
So
I
nice.
know, I
Julie.
feel-
I'm just such a bitch.
I feel like at that point you should just be
I've
like,
been to
hey,
those.
yeah. You should be like, hey, yeah. So how do you feel about the Holocaust? I feel like that's literally
Literally.
icebreaker.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Like I'm like my
How
car
do you
not
feel
working is literally like the Holocaust. Don't you agree?
How do you feel about Israel and Palestine? And then that would
Oh,
be the
God.
that's
Oh,
the
the
conversation.
Russia and Ukraine. That's a great conversation.
Yeah.
Or tell them that you're trans.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Literally. Can you even
Maybe
tell?
they're into it.
I was gonna
Dude,
say that.
yeah, I
No,
mean,
right.
Isabella's really pretty. They'd be like, you're a man? Okay, I think I could be into this.
Be like, I'm
Yeah.
sold. Whatever it is.
Exactly.
I
That's a
have
good
a
point.
car breakdown story in Mexico that was kind of weird. So we were driving my old SUV. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Nina, when you honk the horn, does it go?
I wish.
I
I wish it would. I should get that for my new car. And so I was like, I wanted my husband to stop by McDonald's so that we can get an ice cream because I hadn't had a McDonald's ice cream for like years. And I was like, I want one, just do it. And so he
That's so
did.
good.
And the second we pulled into the driveway into like the parking lot, the car started smoking, like the fucking, like there was smoke everywhere. And then it just went dead in the middle of the McDonald's parking lot. So then
be right back.
okay. So then all these Mexican people were like mad at us because we had blocked the parking lot. and then one of them was really nice though. It was like this very heavy set woman, and she was clearly going to McDonald's for reasons, but it was she was very happy to help us. And so she came along with her daughter, and they like pushed our SUV with their SUV into a parking lot. And it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life, because she was like literally like slamming on her fucking gas to like push our, like she like was basically
Whoa.
like just hitting the, she was just doing that over and over. And I was like, that's like hurting her vehicle, and she doesn't even give a fuck. She just like really wants us out of the way so that she can get to that drive-through.
And she's
yeah,
helping because she just wants the food. She's
Don't
like, I
deny
can't wait.
Kenzie, ladies.
she's like, get out of the way so we can get some more food. Anyways, it was really funny. It was a good situation. And then we had to call the tow truck, which they don't have here, because you could pretty much do anything in Mexico and you don't get towed. Like you can park anywhere, you can do everything. They barely ever have tow trucks. So we actually had to find one, and it was kind of expensive to get one because again, they don't really have them here. But then we did, and it was fine. It was an adventure though.
It's always an adventure. Yeah. You just have to be like, all right, I am out of control. Like I am not in control of the situation. And you have to just
The lady was really funny with the let me just like keep smashing into your car and push it into the
Did she damage your car?
she's like
no,
salivating.
she was damaging her own car, and I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she
but-
hungry.
yeah, she was
She
like,
hungry.
I need that food.